Coming up on DITV, Interstate 80 was shut down yesterday due to snow-related accidents.
And later, Dance Marathon was just around the corner, and one Iowa City business kept its doors open yesterday for one last-minute fundraising.
Can Iowa take down a top 5 team? And can I pronounce the name Ignas Brazdeikis? I guess we'll find out in sports.
We may be in the middle of one of the largest temperature swings in all of history. Find out more in weather.
All that and more coming up on this Friday morning edition of DITV.
Don't go anywhere. DITV starts right now.
Good morning and thank you for tuning in. I'm Declan Levy.
And I'm Jacob Gunther. The Iowa Department of Transportation said emergency crews in response to several accidents that occurred along the interstate and Coralville area yesterday. According to the Iowa State Patrol, a major collision occurred with 7 passenger vehicles and 4 tractor-trailers. One person was killed. The westbound lanes between Dodge Street and Highway 965 were closed down at around 4 p.m., then reopened at 10 p.m. For updates, go to DITV.com.
The cold weather and snow did not stop people from showing up at Molly's Cupcakes for the last Dance Marathon Community Day of the season. The downtown Iowa City business gave people a reason to brave the cold, and that reason, well, for the kids. A portion of sales from yesterday will go directly to Dance Marathon to help benefit the children fighting for their lives and their family. Dance Marathon says that these community days are a perfect way to get not only the students involved, but also the community.
And so community days allow students to go get cupcakes or whatever it may be, but as you can probably tell, it allows a lot of different other community members, whether they're in Iowa City or not, to come in and really support Dance Marathon in a unique way.
The weather has made this last week of fundraising before the big event more difficult than usual. Typically, this week is filled with people out canning and asking for donations on the streets. With classes being canceled and the record low temperatures, this community day meant more than ever before.
Every penny will end up changing a life in some form or shape, and community days really do bring in a good chunk of change for us. It helps people get to the big event, it helps us change lives, it helps us do a bunch of things, and so community days are really crucial this time of the year just because we are really building up that tote board that'll be revealed in just 2 days.
Fundraising opportunities haven't been the only thing affected by this weather this week for Dance Marathon. Dancer check-in was supposed to take place every night this week leading up to the big event. This event gets the dancers prepared for Dance Marathon. Here they can purchase merchandise and pick up their bags, anything they may need to prepare for those 24 hours on their feet. And classes being canceled through Tuesday evening and Thursday afternoon. Those plans changed, but that didn't alter people's excitement for the big event.
Yeah, I'm just excited for their overall experience of everything, getting to meet the kids and just, it's the least we can do, it's the cold, but, so, yeah.
Although the cold weather and snow has put a dent in some people's plans, Charlie Ellis, the executive director of Dance Marathon, says these inconveniences don't compare to what these kiddos really go through.
So whether it's negative 20 degrees outside or 50 degrees, we're going to be fighting as hard as we possibly can for our kiddos and families, and nothing is going to stop us at any extent. Be
sure to follow the Daily Iowan on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as we give you 24-hour coverage of the big event beginning tonight at 7 p.m. Also, be sure to visit dailyiowan.com for information on Dance Marathon throughout the weekend.
The Iowa City Public Library hired a new director at the beginning of January, and after a month on the job, Ellsworth Carmen has started what his plans for the library will be. Carmen wants the library to focus on serving the community. His first test came this week with the most extreme winter temperatures Iowa has seen in quite a while. Carmen and his staff had to decide if they were going to open the library on Wednesday or not. The decision was made to open the library. Not only was the library open, but they served hot drinks and winter clothing available for the people of the public. And Declan, that is wonderful to hear, an organization helping out the community, especially during these very cold temperatures we've experienced this week.
Yeah, always nice to have a place warm to stay. Let's toss it over to Dylan in the weather studio. Dylan?
Thanks, Declan and Jacob. Yes, as you mentioned, we had those all-time low colds on Wednesday and Thursday. And as you can see around here, the below-average temperatures swept all across the Midwest. But as we transition into Saturday and the weekend, we see the temperature will rapidly rise. We actually have way above average temperatures for this part of the year coming this weekend. Now, the 60 to 70 degree temperature swing from Wednesday on to Saturday is the largest ever experienced in Chicago and other parts of the Midwest. Now, as we look onto the local temperature today here in Iowa City, we have a temperature of 4 degrees early this morning. As we go throughout the day, the temperature will rapidly rise and will get up to 21 degrees later tonight. So a good difference between this morning and tonight. We'll be partly cloudy throughout the day, though, and no precipitation is expected anywhere throughout the day. Now, as we move into our extended 5-day forecast for the weekend into next week, like I said, today we have those partly cloudy skies. As we move into tomorrow, our temperatures rise really quickly. We have a high of 43 degrees and a low of 38, with a 50% chance of some showers throughout the day. Now, Sunday, we're back to cloudy skies with a 20% chance of showers, so low chance there, but our high is up to 49, and that goes back to that temperature swing that I mentioned. And our low is 46, so really, respectively, pretty warm day on Sunday, maybe shorts weather. On Monday, we have partly cloudy skies and 20-mile-per-hour winds, so it'll feel like much colder, but the true temperature will be a high of 48 degrees and a low at around 18 degrees with the wind factoring as well. Tuesday, I hate to say it, but the snow may come back. We have a 70% chance of some snow showers possibly, with our high in the high 20s and our low at around 20 degrees or so. Well, as you can see, our temperatures get much warmer this weekend, so be on the lookout for that. But as we head into next week, the cold may come back. Jacob and Declan, back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Dylan. An associate professor at the University of Iowa is developing a phone application that would help visually impaired people walk around a track. The app, developed by Kyle Rector, a UI associate professor of computer science, uses camera sensors to keep track walkers from veering off into another lane. Rector intends to test out this app this summer on children at Camp Abilities, a sports camp for blind and visually impaired children. The app is being developed with the assistance of Microsoft Artificial Intelligence for Accessibility Grant, as well as assistance from researchers at the U Iowa and the State University of New York at Brockport. For more information, go to thedailyiowan.com.
In November of 2018, the Education Department formally announced policy to change guidelines to Title IX when approaching sexual misconduct cases. The proposed change was open to public comment and feedback, which there were 97,000 responses. According to the Administrative Procedures Act, the department is required to review all comments and respond to ones that warrant responses before making the final decision. Currently, 10,000 comments have been reviewed, and a public comment submitted Wednesday on behalf of the University of Iowa Sexual Misconduct Response Coordinator, Monique DeCarlo, said, quote, "We worry that the proposed regulations would impose a one-size-fits-all model that would limit our ability to tailor our policies and procedures to our specific campus community," end quote. Stay tuned with the Daily Iowan for future updates. All right, so big game tonight for the Iowa Hawkeyes. They take on Michigan. Lucy Rodine has more for us in the sports studio. Lucy, how's it going?
Thanks, guys. Welcome to the Courtside Show. I am your host, Lucy Rodine, and for the second week in a row, the Hawks have a top 10 team in town. But the last time around did not end the way Iowa wanted. The Hawks fell at home against Michigan State, and then a few days later lost on the road to Minnesota. But the team knows just as well as we do that there is no time to dwell on those losses when Michigan is next up on the schedule. And the Wolverines, they're coming into Carver tonight with only one loss this season. The Maize and Blue lead the conference in scoring defense against the three, and they're second in the Big Ten in turnover margin, scoring margin, and field goal percentage defense. So are you sensing a theme here? The Wolverines are a very good defensive team.
It's a solid group. You know, they play together. You know, more so probably than any other team that you know we've played. You know, they're so connected on both ends of the floor. And, you know, it'll be a fun matchup for us. This is another opportunity to play against the top-tier team in the country. So, you know, games against Michigan are always fun. So I'm just looking forward to another fun one tomorrow.
A lot of it has to do with their versatility. The fact that, you know, they got a bunch of guys that, you know, are around 6'5", 6'6", 210 pounds, 215 pounds that can guard a bunch of different positions. And I think that'll help any defense, regardless of, you know, I mean, obviously they're, you know, one of the better ones in the country, but, you know, they'll do switching and they'll do stuff like that, and they don't get hurt too much because of the size and versatility that their guys have. So I think that's one of the main things.
So the golden question is, how do you beat the team that seemingly can't be beat? Well, Wisconsin did it by forcing Michigan into turning the ball over and getting freshman phenom Ignas Brazdeikis in a foul situation more tangled than the pronunciation of his name. But here's Fran's take on how to stop the Maize and Blue.
Do a lot of things. You want to beat a team that's 20-1. You gotta play well in transition. You gotta defend. You gotta do it all consistently, not in spurts. You know, you gotta win the battle on the glass. You know, they're gonna, you know, make broken play threes if you don't. So you gotta fight them on the glass. You gotta fight them in transition. You gotta run your stuff. You gotta move the ball. You gotta do it better than they do because they're gonna be trying to do the same things.
Sounds simple enough, right? Well, in order to beat the number 5 team in the country, Carver is going to need to do its best Nicholas Bear impression tonight and act as the 6th man. With more on what you need to know if you're planning on packing the stands, we have DITV sports reporter Natalie Accapetti standing by in Carver with some important information for tonight's game. Natalie?
Thanks, Lucy, and good thing Carver is warm right now for tonight's sold-out game. Fans are encouraged to wear their black and gold gear depending on where their seat is located. They can find more information on that online. And also, don't forget to download your Hawkeye Lights app to be able to be a part of the first ever Hawkeye Light Show prior to the game. Lucy, back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Natalie. And the Iowa Athletics office announced last week that tonight's game is sold out, and it could not come at a better time because the Hawks are going to need all the help they can get. So, does Iowa do it? Do the Hawks finally get that signature conference win? I'm saying yes. Iowa's coming off 2 tough road losses where you really felt like the Hawks had a chance, but it just couldn't get it done. They let it slip away both times. And this team has proven this year that they're a resilient bunch. So I'm taking Iowa tonight over Michigan. I think Iowa will finally get those offensive juices flowing again and find a way to defensively beat Michigan at their own game. But it won't be easy by any means. And my record says that you can probably trust me on that pick. But come back on Monday to see if you still trust me and for results from the game. Declan and Jacob, back to you guys.
Thanks, Lucy. It's Friday, and that means it's time for the ICAC Animal of the Week. This is reserved for that one special animal at the Iowa City Animal Care Adoption Center who is ready to meet their new family.
This week's furry friend is Vinny. Vinny is a 3-month-old guinea pig that's looking for a new home. Vinny is your average everyday guinea pig. He loves running on his wheel and squirreling around his cage. Vinny is a person's perfect first pet. He's low maintenance, easy to take care of, and could be the newest addition to your family.
So cute. For more information about Vinny, check out the ICAC website, call the phone number, or give him a visit yourself. Well, thanks for tuning in to this Friday morning edition of DITV.
Be sure to head over to dailyiowan.com for all of your latest news.
If that isn't enough of the Daily Iowan for you, be sure to check out the print edition on the newsstands right now.
For DITV, I'm Jacob Gunther.
And I'm Declan Levy. Have a great day, Iowa City.